The following program is being presented to you by a community producer. The statements, views, and opinions expressed are not necessarily those of ALC-TV or the City of Avon Lake.
Hi, I'm Suzie Dills and welcome to Starry Trails Adventure Through the Stars. Every month we'll talk about cosmic highlights and take an adventure through the night sky. So don't forget to visit starrytrails.com for illustrations, maps, and you can pull up the audio as you head out in your backyard so you have all the tools you need to check out the night sky from your very own backyard. Well, on Friday, May 25th, we had a great family astronomy night at Walker Road Park. And boy, we got a chance to see a lot of really cool things. We saw the gibbous moon, we saw Jupiter, and it was great because we were able to check things out before it even really got dark. So we were looking at the moon, we were looking at Jupiter, and later on that evening, most of the families there got to take a chance at taking a photo of the moon and Jupiter through the telescope. So a really close-up view of those objects. So great pictures, and boy, we had a lot of fun, and the kids were wonderful. So once again, our star party through Avon Lake Park and Rec on Friday, May 25th was just a spectacular event. So our four brightest planets continue to put on that spectacular show in our evening and morning sky. And so we're going to take a look at what is our highlight planet for the month of June. And it, of course, is our lovely planet Saturn. And by the way, if you look at Saturn through a telescope, it is such a treat. And you do get a chance to see the lovely ring system too from our telescopes here on planet Earth. Saturn is going to reach opposition on June 27th. And what that all means is Saturn will be rising as the sun is setting. So it'll be in our evening sky from dusk until dawn. And of course, we also have our summer solstice coming up on June 21st. So let's talk about the position of those planets as we head through the evening sky all the way past midnight. And Saturn, once again, will be rising at the end of the month as the sun is setting. What's going to be really great to find Saturn, we're going to use the king of the planets, Jupiter, because Jupiter is so brilliant right now in the southern sky. So if you're facing west as the sun goes down, you know the direction south is to the left. And then you'll look up, you'll see brilliant Jupiter. And then if you just trek down from there to the left slightly, you're going to see another bright red-orange object. And that is a star called Antares. And that is the heart of Scorpius. And then just down to the left from there slightly, you're going to see a golden colored object. That is the planet Saturn. So I always go back to something bright, something easy to find, and of course that would be Jupiter. Get fixed on Jupiter, head on down to the left to Antares, and then to Saturn. And if you have a telescope, backyard telescope, get that out, because not only can you check out Jupiter, but you're going to see the loveliness of Saturn also. And along with the king of the planets as far as brilliant goes, we also have Venus still visiting our western sky after sunset. And Venus is our brightest planet that we can see. And what's going to happen over the next couple months is we're going to have Venus and Jupiter are going to continue to close in on each other. So those two brilliant planets will get closer and closer as we continue to head through summertime. So really looking forward to that. But really, this has been last couple months and going through the summer, great planet viewing. So be sure to get out and Venus, Jupiter, so brilliant you can find. And then we're really going to have a treat coming up with the planet Mars in the month of July. Mars does not rise until after midnight now, so we still got to wait another month or so to enjoy the red planet Mars. And by the way, when you're looking at Venus, the reason why it's so brilliant is because it's surrounded by very thick clouds, and the sunlight reflects off of those clouds. So it's a dazzling gem in our sky. And it's going to be putting on a show again this month, the 15th, 16th, and 17th, with the crescent moon. And what's really cool is we're also going to have a guest appearance by the planet Mercury for the last couple weeks in June. So it'll be great to get out and try to locate Mercury in the northwestern sky after sundown. I would try the night of the crescent moon, because the crescent moon of Venus, that'll grab your attention in the west. And then if you head down to the right, you're going to look for a dimmer object, of course, than Venus after sundown. And we're certainly going to try and find that at our next star party too. And we'll talk a little bit more about the details of that in a little bit. And then Saturn opposition June 27th and June 29th. What a panoramic view we're going to have, starting in the northwest all the way to the southeast. So the lineup will be northwest dim Mercury, then you'll definitely see brilliant Venus, and then to the left of that will be brilliant Jupiter in the south, and then in the southeast golden colored Saturn, all together in that lineup. So towards the end of June, try to get a nice open sky view, and you're going to see that full lineup there of 4 planets. And another really cool thing going on too is we're going to have the full moon on June 28th. And the full moon of June, according to folklore, is called the strawberry moon, or the rose moon, or the flower moon. But folks long ago would use the light of the full moon to pick strawberries, because the harvest time is so short for strawberry picking. So they would get out, use the light of that strawberry moon in order to harvest their strawberries at that time of year. And then let's talk a little bit about the solstice too. Everybody loves that first day of summer. Of course, it's our longest day of the year, June 21st. So what's happening out there in the solar system? Well, we talked about the equinox a couple months ago. So during the solstice, it's actually our turn in the northern hemisphere to be directly tilted towards the sun. So remember, as we orbit around the sun, because of the tilt of the Earth, in the summertime, the northern hemisphere will point directly to the sun. So of course, longer days, warmer temperatures. And what's really cool too is to check out the position of the sunset, because on June 21st, our sun will be setting at its most northern point of west. And then it'll start heading back to due west for the autumnal equinox. So if you really want to get out there and check that out, take pictures, especially here in Avon Lake. We have the lake as our background. You can take pictures for the sunset on the clear nights and watch the position as our sun changes after the solstice. All right, are we ready for our hike? About 9:45 might be a good time to head out. Remember, our days are very long now, so the sun is not setting till almost 9 o'clock. So some of the things we want to think about taking out for our hike: always your binoculars. And then, of course, at this time of year, I always grab that bug spray, because at dusk, as the sun is just going down, as you're preparing to head out on a clear night, all those mosquitoes are going to certainly be around. You may need a light jacket. And at this time of year, what I love to do is, if you're by a field, just stand for a few minutes and just enjoy the fireflies twinkling. I love to head out, get out to an open field area and just see all of the twinkling of the fireflies on a June evening. And don't forget your Starry Trail map, and you can also pull up my audio if it'll make it easier to navigate through the night sky. All right, as we look towards the western sky, and of course, we're going to see Venus. That'll catch our eye, that'll draw us towards the west, or the colors of the sunset. You're going to look above Venus, you'll see a bright star. That star is part of the constellation Leo. It's called Regulus. And then beside Venus, you're going to see two stars that look almost identical, and those are Gemini, the twins. And to the right of Venus is Capella, and to the left is Procyon. Now those stars we're going to see set earlier and earlier, so they'll be departing our sky until next winter time. And then if we turn to the right, we're going to be facing direction north. Of course, it's always easy to locate direction north here by the lake. So we're going to look up and notice the changing position of the Big Dipper. It's starting to swing down in the northwest. So the position of the Big Dipper is indicating summertime, nice warm temperatures. And then take the two stars at the end of the cup of the Big Dipper and draw that imaginary line across, and there you will find the North Star Polaris. Of course, our direction star, our navigation star. So what an important star that is. And then we're going to make one more turn to the right, or direction east. And this is where we're going to find those late spring, early summer stars appearing. So look up and you'll see a bright star. It's kind of an orange-yellow star. Another way to find this bright star is to arc off the handle of the Big Dipper. So arc to a star called Arcturus, and then go down to the right to a blue-white star called Spica. Arc to Arcturus, speed to Spica. And so let's head back up to Arcturus. We're going to just slightly head off of that star to that little ringlet, looks like a little necklace. It's actually called the Northern Crown, or Corona Borealis. And then slide down slightly from there, you'll notice a keystone shape. That is the body of our bravest and strongest hero of all, Hercules. And then just down to the left from Hercules, that's where you'll find a bright star called Vega. And Vega is one of those summertime stars. So in the eastern sky after sundown, we're just starting to see our summer constellations returning. What a great sight to see. So as far as our binoculars go, anytime during the summer is great. It's nice and warm. You could get that lawn chair out, blankets, just lay back and scan through the sky, because you'll be surprised how many stars you'll be able to see even in your own backyard. Some of the binocular highlights are going to be focusing in on the planet Jupiter. So if you get nice and focused, you're going to see a couple pinpoints of light around Jupiter. Those are the large moons called the Galilean moons. And when we were at our last star party on May 25th, the folks that were using the binoculars that evening were easily seeing those moons from Walker Road Park. So you could get out in your backyard, and if you get nice and steady, you should be able to see a couple of those moons. But certainly, if you have a backyard telescope, you haven't brought it out since Christmas time, since you got it as a present, this is the time to get it out. You have Jupiter, you have Venus, coming up Saturn, and always great to look at the moon. Of course, the Beehive star cluster is still hanging out there in the western sky. It's going to make a little rendezvous with the planet Venus on June 19th, and that's just a binocular object that you can spot in between the constellations Gemini and Leo. And then our most impressive globular star cluster, the Hercules globular star cluster, made up of about 300,000 stars. This was another object we checked out at that star party also. So you can get, once again, you have to find Hercules. That's going to be the challenge, especially if you have lights in your neighborhood. You're going to have to practice a bit, and then just scan around the part of Hercules that's facing Corona Borealis, our little sort of ringlet of stars there. But give it a try. It is a challenge. But it's always cool to get it though and take a look at that. So what's coming up next month for the month of July? We're going to have Mars at its brightest since 2003. It will be at opposition at the end of July. And of course, we're going to have all those great summer constellations. And also on Friday, June 22nd, is our next family star party at Walker Road Park starting at 9 o'clock. We're going to celebrate the solstice. We're going to check out the gibbous moon. We're going to see Saturn. We're going to see Jupiter. We're going to see Venus. And some of the other highlights out there for our summertime sky. So be sure to come out, bring a camera, bring your phone. We'll see if we can get some more good shots of the moon. But be sure to stop on out 9 to 10:30, Friday, June 22nd at Walker Road Park. Well, folks, thanks for stopping by. I hope you can get out there on the next clear night, enjoy the planets and our constellations of late spring, early summer, and I will see you next month.
The preceding program was presented to you by a community producer. The statements, views, and opinions expressed were not necessarily those of ALC TV or the City of Avon Lake.